up, everybody? This is Brian.
I'm Logan, and this is Tops. And this is Bottom. And we're good guys. Hi team, happy Friday, my beautiful angel starlights. I hope you're having a great day. So we were going to do the Dino deck profile today. I put up a poll, but we're a little afraid of the ban list. We don't want the deck to get whomped. So we decided we're going to stick with Gren Maju today. Dinos will come, but today we're going to do Gren Maju. And we thought it was fitting that we're on the water today, because in the Gren Maju deck, we are using the new water barrier statue, so it all kind of worked out in the end. So that's what we're going to do today. The rest of the intro will be over here, but we're glad you're here. Hi, happy Friday. Mwah.
Love you.
Wow, isn't it super weird that we're like all of a sudden dry and at home? I know, crazy, right? If you're new to the channel and you're not confused, by all means, feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. We have a lot of fun here, as you can tell. We like to keep it jazzy. And we'd really love it if you'd be a part of this big, awesome family. We also have an Instagram. It is at CrushCardsYGO. I post a lot of stories. I post polls. I love interacting with y'all. We both do. We respond to messages every single day, and we have a good time there. We also have a Discord. It's a great, wholesome community where we interact with you guys even more. We Photoshop tops onto things. We hang out in the voice channels. There's dueling. There's all sorts of crazy fun stuff going on.
And then if you guys also wanted to support the channel, we have a Patreon. All of the links are in the description box down below. And something that we are going to start for the month of June is we're going to start posting all of our side decks on Patreon, and not only what we side in and what we side out, but how to play with the deck sided. So if that's something you guys are interested in, feel free to go check out all of the links. The Patreon, Instagram, and Discord are all down there.
And in the Patreon, you will automatically get access to all of the videos we post just by being a patron. It doesn't matter. There's no tier locks or anything like that for the content. Any tier can see the cool content. So if you want to see side deck stuff and how to play, go check out the Patreon. It would be absolutely awesome.
And more of me too.
And you get to see more tops, and that's always a good thing, right? Yeah. And not only would it be super cool if you guys wanted to support us as a channel, but we also would love it if you guys would support other people in the community, which is why I wanted to talk about Prisma sleeves today. It's really cool. You guys have heard about cardboard gaming, obviously, about manga math,
And our TCG affiliate link.
but we have someone new today that we want to talk about, and it's Prisma Sleeves. They are a brand new rogue sleeve company that is just getting started, whose project is now live on Kickstarter, and they will be launching products soon. And they focus primarily on, guess what? Sleeves. And they're super cute. They're like gradient and different colors and like really pretty, and they've got a whole bunch of different styles. They're really edgy and new for sleeves. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves are either like really cool or they're like really boring. And this is like a really nice middle ground of like fun sleeves, and I think they're a lot of fun. We're gonna test them out and like show you guys what they look like and everything, so you can see what they're all about. We're always really eager to support the community, and whenever there's someone new or a new company that's coming in, we would love to support them in any way possible. And fun fact, any pre-orders for their Kickstarter or for any sleeves will receive entries towards a pot of extravagance giveaway. So I mean, that's pretty cool that they're doing that. But yeah, honest review coming once we get some of these sleeves. It's gonna be rad. Thanks guys. Let's do some banishing.
Obviously, this is the Gren Maju deck, so starting off with our monsters, we are going to play triple copies of our brand new super rare out of OTS 12,
Ooh.
Gren Maju. This card is absolutely ridiculous. For any of you guys who do not know what this card does for some reason, this card gains attack and defense equal to each number of your banished cards times 400. You play a lot of ways to banish cards in this deck. It can get huge. This card can get ridiculously big. So play Gren Maju at 3. Always, this card is insane. We are playing double copies still of Eater of Millions. A lot of people play this card at 3, and some people choose not to play it at all. However, Eater of Millions is an insane card because not only does it banish cards, but it just applies pressure and forces a response out of your opponent. So Eater of Millions says this card cannot be normal summoned. It must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 5 or more cards from your hand, field, and or extra deck face down. This card gains 100 attack for each face down card banished. So what's cool to note is Eater of Millions is each face down card banished, whereas Gren Maju is only your face down banished cards. This effect doesn't really come up often, but Eater of Millions cannot be tributed, used as fusion, synchro, or exceeds material. Once again, you're never really doing that. But the relevant effect is that at the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monsters, you just banish that monster face down. So this card is just generic removal, non-targeting. It's absolutely ridiculous. So once again, just forces a response out of your opponent and is really, really good to apply pressure. Pretty standard in a lot of Gren Maju decks. We are playing triple copies of Gizmek Orochi. Not only is this card a quick effect banish, but it is a pop also on your turn. So this card says that you can banish 8 cards face down to special summon this card, and that is the cost. And that is really cool because, once again, that's a quick effect, so you can special this on your opponent's turn also.
Whether it's in your hand or graveyard, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah,
so you can
hand
always
and
discard him and ditch him off of an effect or something, and you're still good and he's still alive.
Discard. And he's a level 8?
Oh
Whoa.
my god, discarding in this deck?
And you can banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and then destroy it. The only downside is you can only use 1 of his effects each turn. So you can't special summon him and pop, which is why it's really cool if you have him in your grave or in your hand. You can special him on your opponent's turn and then use his effect on your turn to pop. Once again, level 8. Really, really ridiculous. Moving on into our Eternity Code support. This is the most fun card. I love this card. We are playing triple Gizmek Uka, the festive fox of
Fesundity. He is a sweet alliteration boy. We love him.
This-
I mean, so is Orochi, but like Uka's going ham. Festive fox of Fesundity. We love him.
So this card is absolutely insane. For any of you guys who do not know what this card, there's a lot going on in this card.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So this card says, each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster, inflict 300 damage.
Just burn him.
Yeah, just burn them.
Just do it.
And I will say, like, in testing this deck, that actually does come up. Like,
Yeah.
this has burned for more than half of life points just to try to out this.
I have burned him for literally 4,000 because he's playing combo and he's like, well, I have to summon, like I have to do stuff. So
Just to
it's
out
really
this,
nice.
I
Yeah.
had to pay $3,900.
Yeah,
it was
a lot.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's not even the cool part. The real reason you play this card is that if a monster is special summoned from the main deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. So when
Wow.
your opponent special summons a monster, this gets on board for free. And then the really relevant effect is that if this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 face-up monster that your opponent controls, special summon 1 monster from your hand or deck whose attack is equal to its own defense with the same attribute as that monster. So for any of you guys who don't know what this combo is, your opponent is going to summon Needle Fiber, and then they are going to special summon either a Jet, an O-Lion, a Despot 001 from their deck, and then this will summon itself because your opponent special summoned from their deck, and then because this was special summoned, you target Needle Fiber, and you special summon a barrier statue of the Torrent directly from your deck because it has 1,000 attack and 1,000 defense. And the reason that we play this is because the barrier statue's effect says that neither player can special summon monsters except water monsters. This combo literally ends your opponent's turn. This is ridiculous.
What does the fox say? You can't play. That's what he says. He says you can't play. Wow.
Moving on to our danger package, this is still a relatively big danger package. We're playing the 1 Jackalope because it's all you can play him at, 1 Tsuchiyoko because it's all you can play it at. You do play the 1 Chupacabra because it does come up and it just does allow you to draw cards and it's a free body on board. We play double Mothman, the 1 Nessie. Oh man, we don't have enough room.
3 Thunderbird.
3 Thunderbird. Oh no.
Oh no, he dropped an Ogopogo.
3 Bigfoot. And the 1 Ogopogo. So that is 13 dangers, 7 of which are level 8. So just once again, keep that in mind. Levels are really, really relevant. Everyone knows what these cards do. Ogopogo is a foolish burial for any danger card.
Bigfoot is a face-up pop. Dangerbird is a set pop. Nessie is a search. Moth is a draw 1 discard. Choop is a special summon from grave. Such is a free boy. And then Jackalope is a free summon from the deck in defense mode.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally just 13 Upstart Goblins. That's the only reason you play them.
Wow, aren't they so good?
We are not fans of hand traps. However, in a going second deck, the best hand trap right now for this deck, triple copies
Very good.
of Dimension Shifter.
10 out of 10 in this deck.
This card is an absolute blowout against most decks because every single deck in the meta right now needs their graveyard to function. Eldritch needs all their spells and traps in their graveyard to banish to recur resources. So if they're already banished, it doesn't matter. This shuts off Adamancipator because they can't get access to their Block Dragon. They can't equip off their Borreload Savage Dragon. Dinosaurs, there's nothing in the graveyard to banish to summon Ultimate Conductor. So like this card literally just shuts out every single graveyard reliant deck. This card itself is a win condition. And it's also really good to note that even though this banishes everything, it does not affect any of your danger activations because your dangers do not need to be discarded to the graveyard. They literally just need to be discarded. Moving on to our draw spells. We are playing triple copies of Pot of Desires because it says banish. And then we are also playing triple copies of Trade-In because we play tons of dangers, and the level 8s will trigger because this discards for cost. And then we are playing double copies of Pinpoint Landing because we are playing 13 dangers in 6 Gizmek, and then we are playing the 1 copy of Card Destruction because it discards from each player's hand every single card, and then they draw cards equal to the number of cards discarded. It just allows you to dig through your deck while triggering all of your danger effects in your hand and just getting cards that you don't want to see out of your hand so you can see new things. Pinpoint Landing is probably the most underrated card in this deck in my personal opinion. It says whenever a monster is special summoned from the hand, draw 1 card. Even though it's a once per turn, this makes your first danger activation that does resolve and summon a Pot of Greed. So this card is absolutely crazy. For anyone who did not know, Gren Maju is a blind second deck, so we have to play some blowout cards.
Super duper schmoo for Polly.
This card is absolutely, there's no reason.
It's super Polly.
It's super Polly. Like,
play super Polly. You're
yeah,
going second.
the card's insane.
And guess what? You discard. Wow, isn't that weird?
And it can't be responded to.
Wow.
Whoa. Game 1, we do not want to lose the back row, so we still are main decking double copies of Cosmic Cyclone. This just allows you to banish any problematic floodgate or any problematic spell trap on the field, and it's just really, really good in the meta right now. Play the 1 Monster Reborn because it is just a 1-for-1 trade with your opponent going second if they negate it, or if not, it allows you to take anything and extend even further. So Reborn is just it's a busted card. Like, this card is absolutely crazy. And then the last card in the entire main deck,
Mind Control.
this card literally has won so many games.
This card's good.
Like, this card at 1
Makes
is still
sense.
so powerful.
It makes sense why it's at 1 now. But yeah, great card. Let's go to the extra deck team. Ready? Woo!
Your extra deck is realistically just utility. You don't use it often. However, if you do need it, we are playing the 1 copy of Pentastag because you have a lot of big monsters in this deck. You are trying to break your opponent's board and then win as fast as possible. And that being said, if you can get an 8,000, 10,000 Gren Maju on field and then just get this guy above it so that it points to it, it just allows you to inflict piercing damage and not have to worry about your opponent's defense position monsters. Brand new little tech. We are playing the 1 area, the Water Charmer, only because once again, if you do go into your barrier statue, you are locked into waters. So to clear that lock, this card just allows you to get both of those cards off field. It still is a water, does fulfill the requirements, and you can just play for free. Plus, if you are able to do that somehow and get rid of your opponent's Needle Fiber, you can just steal it with this. So like, this card is ridiculous. This card is so good. We are playing our generic spot removal package, which is our IP Masquerena, and our Nightmare Unicorn helps make Link indestructible, and this helps bounce cards. Do you play the 1 BLS Link? This card is absolutely nuts because you play so many special summon monsters
that are over level 7.
Yeah, and like when you do that, it makes this card unable to be targeted and destroyed by your opponent's card effects.
Wow.
And it also has the additional effect that when it destroys a monster by battle, you can activate 1 of these effects, which is it gains 1500 attack, which is permanent, and that can be activated every single turn. So this card can continually get bigger and bigger and bigger.
It can non-target banish a card on the field, or it can make a second attack in your next battle phase, which are all really great effects. You basically just get to pick the one you want to use and go to town. It's also really good against control decks. Control decks have a really hard time getting over this card, so yeah. Great card.
There's not a lot of cards out there that have non-targeting destruction and or removal, so this card is almost an auto win. And last for our links, we are playing still the 1 copy of Topologic Zeraboros. This card doesn't come up often, but it's
it's so good.
Really good going first play. And if you are able to just clear boards, this card is absolutely ridiculous. So what this card reads is that you cannot normal summon or special summon monsters to an extra monster zone that this card points to, and it gains 200 attack for each banished card. That is extremely relevant in this deck, and that if another monster is special summoned to a zone a Link monster points to, not even this Link monster, just any Link monster, while this card is face up on the field, banish all cards on the field. Non-targeting, non-destruction, banish everything. And then during the standby phase of your next turn, after this card was banished by its own effect, special summon this banished card. Typically what you're going to do is you will link into this in any extra monster zone, and then because Gizmek is a quick effect, whenever your opponent provides a threatening card that you see or just a threatening board presence, you activate your Gizmek, banish 8 for cost, and then special summon it to an arrow, banish everything on the field, including this. And then on your next turn, you special summon this card in the middle zone, so that it locks both players out of their extra monster zone, and still gains that 200 attack for every banished card. This card is a win condition once again in and of itself. Up through our super duper swooper poly targets. 1 Starving Venom, because it's 2 darks.
He's hungry.
He's very hungry.
For your monsters.
1 Predaplant Trifer Overtum, it's 3 dark monsters. 1 Predaplant Dragostapelia, it's 1 fusion monster and 1 dark monster. 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp, which is 2 monsters with the same attribute but different types. 1 Earth Golem at Ignister, because it's 1 Cybers monster and 1 Link monster. So
wow, that sounds like salad.
Or it's literally just any deck that ends on IP and a Link monster.
Wow, here we come. Nom nom nom. Super pile your monsters away.
And then we are choosing to play the 1 Draco Necro Nether Soul Dragon.
Is that a gold rare?
It is a gold rare.
Yikes.
This is the original print, believe it or not, first ed.
Ew, everyone judge Brian in the comments for using a gold rare. Shame him.
Eldritch is just a very, very meta-relevant deck right now. Their traps are zombies. Eldritch is a zombie. And then in case you do encounter any rogue players like myself who love zombies, this card just blows them out. It's absolutely ridiculous. And not a lot of Eldritch players see this card coming. So really, really strong. This covers all of your bases for Super Poly.
Yes.
And then moving into our last 3 cards.
Our level 8 package.
We,
Wow!
We're playing our Hope Harbinger, which is a spell negate, our Dingirsu, which is protection and non-targeting, sends a card on the field, and then our Sanafon Sky Prison, which is basically just a rank 8 version of Abyss Dweller because it does not allow either player to special summon from the graveyards until the end of your opponent's next turn.
Woo!
And goes along with this where it gains 100 attack for every monster in each player's graveyard. And that's the main deck and the extra deck. If you guys are interested in the side deck, feel free to go check out the Patreon link in the description box down below.
But let's do a test hand, shall we?
Alright, so it is really hard to kind of do like a test hand and show what the deck can do going second because this does rely on a lot of interaction with your opponent.
Yeah.
However, we're just going to shuffle a little bit, do some cuts, and then show what a opening 6-card hand could look like,
Yeah.
and then what you could potentially do with that hand.
Alright, here we go. I feel good about this. Whoop, whoop. There you go. I don't feel like doing anything fancy today.
Let's see, Desires.
Woohoo!
A
Can't
moth.
believe it. Desires and desires.
Ooh,
Oh.
see?
Oh.
Even though you opened up 2 Desires, like Shifter literally
Shifter's
just wins you the
amazing.
game. So in your opponent's draw phase, you're literally just gonna shotgun
Do
the
that.
Shifter. So you do have 2 Pot of Desires, which doesn't really benefit you all that much. However, Shifter.
But at least you know you have desires and desires,
That's a
hopefully.
fact.
Unless you draw the third one.
So this could completely stunt your opponent out, but we are gonna draw for our turn. We drew a Choop, so that's really cool. So we're just gonna shotgun a Desires right now.
Ooh.
Banish 10 to draw 2. And then we will draw 2. Ooh.
Those were very good.
So our hand now is Eater of Millions, Gizmek Orochi, Danger Choop, a Monster Reborn,
Wow.
a Moth, and the Desires.
Wow.
So I would literally, because we do not have Super Poly, we're just gonna special summon our Eater of Millions. So this realistically just depends on what you are playing. Know your matchup, know what Super Poly targets you are and are not gonna use. We did not open up our Gizmek box, so we can just banish the water one, say we're not playing Eldritch, we're not playing a fusion deck, and they're not gonna have 3 darks. Or even 2 darks.
We're playing Adamant's Pig.
So you banished 5 cards face down, and then an additional 10 off of Desires. Plus we have a threat on the board now, plus an additional 5 cards in hand. So we're gonna just set our Monster Reborn, so the pot is banished. So before we reveal any of our danger effects, we are gonna special summon our Gizmek Orochi by banishing 8 face down.
Woo! Amazing. Here, let me take a look there. How bad did it hurt? Not horrible. I mean, it's okay.
So we currently have 23 cards banished face down, which makes Eater of Millions 2,300 already. We can now activate our Danger Mothman in hand. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, wow, look at that.
Bye,
So this will get banished. Mothman will summon and we will draw a card. Huh. Interesting.
That's a bummer.
Can't just activate the Reborn to get our Shifter back.
That's true.
And then we'll reveal Choop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
For fun.
4, 5, 6. Wow, they hit the
Amazing.
Shifter. So
I'm
we're
doing
just
great.
special the Choop, draw a card. Ooh. So hopefully your shifter shut off a lot of their combo plays and stunted the deck that you're playing against. You do have 5 bodies on board plus access if you want to link any of your smaller cards away. Eater of Millions provides you some form of interruption, just face down banishment. You have 23, 18, 12, 24, 50, an additional 15. That's more than enough for lethal damage.
Shifter is a pretty big blowout. It's likely that they don't have much of a board, so I'm sure you could easily get lethal damage on board more than beyond this if you wanted to. You could do a lot. Again, it's really up to the player and the style.
Well, let's do one more test hand just to see what else the deck is capable of. Okay, so we are going to shuffle real quick and then ask our opponent to cut for one more hand.
Wow. There you go.
We'll see. Thundy. Desires. Wow, that card's ever. Oh, there is another good one. A Jack. And a Gren. Oh, that's really painful. Alright, cool. We'll let our opponent do whatever they have to do, and then we will draw for turn. Seeing a Mothman, we are going to activate Desires, banishing 10 for cost, which is awesome, because even if we do eat an Ash Blossom right here, we literally banish 10 for cost.
You still got a 4,000 Gren on field.
Still got a 4,000 Gren on field. But let's say our opponent doesn't have Ash, so we will draw the 2 additional cards. Oh.
Wow. Okay, I mean, that's not bad.
So let's say we are playing a combo deck. The first thing we're gonna do is just activate our Super Poly. Our opponent can't respond. The Gizmek is live in grave regardless, so we're just gonna send it there, and then let's say that we're playing a combo deck. So we're gonna get rid of our opponent's IP and their Appaloosa or their whatever other Link monster that they had on the field. So we just cleared 2 interruptions automatically. Now we can just normal summon the Gren Maju, let them deal with that threat if they have anything left, and then we can activate, we'll say our Mothman in hand.
Wow.
3, there goes the Jack. So we will special the Moth, draw a card, and then Jackalope will activate specking 1 in defense. We will special a Bigfoot in defense.
Why?
Because we banished our Ogopogo.
Oh.
And then we will reveal Thunderbird in our hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got a 66% shot. Wow, that stinks. There it goes, pop up back row. Cool. Thunderbird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 3, just so you all know.
It's a 3, just so y'all know.
We will send the pot and we will special our Thunderbird, drawing us a card. Ooh, that really stinks.
Bummer.
But you know what doesn't stink? Having a Gizmek engraved. Here comes 8. You ready for it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hey, bud.
Wow, there he is.
There
Isn't that incredible? So this card is kind of dead. This card is also kind of dead, unless you're looking to attack. So you can make a rank 8 play here if you want, but this is also way more than lethal.
Yeah, if your opponent has something you can send, you can always go into Dingirsu and just send whatever.
So we have 18 cards banished, which makes our Gren Maju, if my math is correct, 7,200. So we were smart and summoned it under this zone, so we can link these 2 away into a Pentastag, inflicting piercing battle damage plus 2,800 and 2,450, which would definitely be game. And as Logan said, if they have something else you haven't already cleared,
go into Dingirsu.
Just send it. Bye.
Bye.
There it goes.
Amazing. What a good deck.
So this deck clearly just plays through so many different boards.
It's so fun. In testing, I really do enjoy this deck. It can play through a lot. Going second is amazing. It's a fun deck.
It breaks boards so easily.
It's so versatile. I really enjoy it. I think it's a fun deck personally, but who am I?
So if you guys liked this deck and this profile, feel free to join our community. Go down and hit the subscribe button. Feel free to throw this video a like.
And comment, because I want to know what you think and I want to talk to you because you're great and I love you.
And just let us know how you play this deck too. Gren Maju is a very versatile deck. A lot of people play control. A lot of people just choose to play it different ways. This is just our favorite way, so feel free to let us know in the comment section. And if you guys do want to talk more, hit us up on Instagram, check us out on Discord, and once again, all the other stuff will be on Patreon.
But anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. We hope you have a happy Friday. We hope it's a great day for you. We love you. You matter. You're awesome. Tops, you gonna say bye, buddy? Bye, guys. You're perfect. Bye, guys. Mwah.